Good morning, traders. This is a live trade recap. I took 2 trades this morning right at the market open. I have everything on video. I'll show you what I traded and why and the results. The first trade, I'll tell you right off the bat, was a red trade. The second trade hit my 2-hour profit target. So we'll see how things worked out in just a minute. The most important thing I want to tell you right at the beginning here is the glitch that you saw yesterday with Webull apparently is being fixed, and they're saying that they're going to have it fixed tonight. So yesterday, if you watched my video, you saw what happened where I placed an order as I normally do with my hotkeys that also includes a stop loss and take profit. But the problem was it put an extra buy order out there. And the problem with that is that you cannot move your stop loss and take profit. So if you do that today, if you have that problem today, the best thing to do is to try to close 1 or 2 of these orders. If you close one, the other one should close, but just click on those a couple times. If that doesn't work, close the platform down, reopen it, and then try to close them again. Once you do that, all that will be remaining is your position. This will go away. Then you can just left click and close by stop loss and take profit order that way. Then you'll get these back up and you'll be able to move them as you should. So apparently that's going to be fixed tonight. Today is July 1st, so tomorrow, July 2nd, everything should be back to normal, but I was able to trade around it today, and I'll show you what happened. All right, so as always, I start with my screener. So I'm using this screener that I call the mid-ish cap screener. Always click modify to make sure that the filters are being applied, because they will not be applied if you don't click modify. And then I organize by volume, and I just look at the top stocks by volume that are also going up, that are gaining and percent change. So SWBI was one of them. CCIV was also going up at the open, and they also must have 500 million shares traded or more. And right at 9:30, that's quite a bit to ask for. There's only going to be a few, but you'll see others kind of make that criteria pretty quickly. Okay, let's take a look at the trades now. So this is my multi-chart list. I put the stocks on here, just like I said, right off of that screener, one at a time. Then I check the daily chart, make sure that the price is trading above the 200 MA line. That's what this red line is here. So you can see that the price is above. If they don't have a 200 MA line, then I just make sure that, if I drew a line, say from the lowest low previously to where it is today, and kind of followed all the lows that were making higher lows, right? So that this would be a line that's sloping up, a positive slope, and that's enough for me to look for an entry at that point. So now I go to the 1-minute chart or 5-minute chart and mark out the high of the previous session. I do this on all the stocks, and then whichever stock is breaking out through the previous high first is the one that I look for an entry on. So today that was CCIV, and let me just show you where I switched to the 1-minute chart. You could see here, this is like a classic 3-bar play. That's not what I was playing. I don't play the 3-bar play. It just so happens that sometimes my trade setup and criteria matches a 3-bar play. So for me, I'm still looking at this as a ABCD pattern. This is point A. This is B. It happened all in one bar. That happens sometimes. And this is point C right here. So if you imagine so this is a 1-minute bar. If you imagine that we were looking at this on the 10-second time frame, you'd still get this pattern right here. If you split that one bar that's going straight up into a 10-second time frame, you would see something like this, and then you would see something like that on the red bar. So it's still an ABCD pattern. It's just kind of disguised in a 3-bar play. And I know the 3-bar play is pretty popular out there, and today it didn't work out. I don't think they work out that well. I prefer the ABCD pattern, and as I said, occasionally they coincide. So the nice thing about the ABCD pattern is it's not going to keep you from playing 3-bar plays, so you don't have to really worry about that. So anyway, the price actually jumped over my entry point before I could get in, so I was waiting for it to come back down. You could see that I'm hovering over this candle. The high of that candle is 29.54, so I wanted to see 29.55 before I put in my order, and there you could see it right when it said 29.55. I triggered my hotkeys. I got filled exactly where I wanted to, so that was perfect. And then just as suspected, we had that glitch because I left my profit target and stop loss on purpose because I wanted to see would it do the same thing it did yesterday, because that was only one single trade. Now, so you could see today when I tried to close the stop loss order, that's what worked. Yesterday it was closing the profit target, so that's kind of weird, but it got rid of the those orders and that kind of phantom order that it places out there. So here you're going to see me left click and close by stop loss, take profit. So this is exactly the same thing as what I try to do with my hotkeys. Is just a two-step process here. So it works just fine as long as, you know, the stock isn't moving super fast and you don't get flushed out in the first couple of seconds. So now my stop loss is in place. It's in the appropriate place. And the trade is going in my favor right now. Now I'm using my 2-hour calculator, which you can download from the Facebook trading group by the same name, Trading Armor. And that gives me my profit target automatically. I put in my entry and my stop loss, and it gives me a profit target that is twice my risk. So if the trade works out, it cancels out 2 losers. So now I'm just focusing on that stock, kind of ignoring all the others. That way, if I do get stopped out and I get a re-entry, I don't miss it. Because if you get stopped out the first time, the second time the stock is more likely to go in your favor. With one caveat that you're going to see happen over here. So let me just fast forward a little bit because I think it takes a little while. So here I'm marking out point A of the ABCD pattern, and there I got stopped out. Let me just show you that in real time. Happens pretty fast, and this is why you want to have these stop loss orders in place, because sometimes you don't get much of a chance to execute your hotkeys if you want to sell manually. And now the strategy says that I must look for the next entry on this stock if it doesn't break down below point A of the ABCD pattern. So as I said earlier, this is point A. So if the price comes down below that level, I can no longer take a trade on this stock unless the now the current high is broken. So you'll see me drag this up, and once, of course, the price breaks down below. So at this point, I was still looking to see if it gave me an entry. It didn't. SWBI popped up on the screener at that point as well, and I saw it made a nice move. I missed my entry on this one as well. The entry would have been right here for the break of this red candle, and the stop loss would have been just below it. So I'm kind of marking those things out, seeing if it would have hit my profit target, because if it doesn't hit my profit target, then I could still get in if the price comes back down, because it amounts to the exact same trade. So you don't have to walk away from these stocks if you miss your ideal entry. You just have to figure out, okay, you know, has the trade already completed? And if it has, then you should probably walk away, because the next trade you take on it is less likely to work out. So here you can see CCIV now broke down through that point A, so there's no need to look for an entry now. And as soon as I finish putting these lines on the chart, you'll see me move this up. So let me fast forward a little bit. Let me just see something here. Okay, so this is where I figured out, using the 2-hour calculator, I figured out where my would-be profit target would have been on this SWBI trade had I gotten my ideal entry. So the profit target would have been 38.40, and it didn't make it. It went to 38.37. So that means that if the price comes back down to this blue line, that I can still get in this trade. So here I am moving that previous high line up. So now I know not to look for an entry, and I won't get tricked if I see like a 1-minute candle make a new high thinking I should jump in, because I know the price is trading below its previous high. So SWBI is coming down. I think I started looking at my screener on my laptop here in just a moment. I was marking out, there's the profit target, 38.40. It almost hit it, but it didn't hit it, so I can still take a trade on it. Okay, there's where I just decided to cancel the stop loss and take profit order, so that on the next entry, that when I trigger my hotkeys, I'm just going to get filled, and then I'll put in the stop loss and take profit afterwards. That was my workaround for this glitch. All right, so here's where it comes down, and I was a little late on the entry because I think I was looking at my screener on my laptop. So I was looking for 36.96. So let's watch the price bubble. There's 36.95, 94. So it definitely came down, and you could see, like, while it said 94.95, I think is when I hit my hotkeys, but it popped up immediately as I triggered them. So I got a little slippage on the way in. If it's just a few cents slippage, it shouldn't matter if it really is a strong setup, a strong stock, and there is real buying power there. If there wasn't, of course, the stock could fail, and that's why you use, or the trade could fail, and that's why you use a stop loss. So there you saw me, again, putting in the stop loss, take profit manually. Not a big deal, but it'll be nice when it's fixed and I don't have to do that. So now moving my stop up to the appropriate level, or at least pretty close. Now this was interesting. I think it's all part of the same glitch. You could see that it's telling me I moved my stop up, but the graphic doesn't show the correct thing. All I had to do was refresh the chart, and it shows it. So here I'm moving that bubble down to the profit target, at least roughly to the profit target. I think I had to adjust these after I put in the correct entry. And again, see, it popped right back up to the original position, but the order notification is telling me that I did move it. So I figured it probably did work. So watch this, I hit refresh, and then there's the stop loss and target showing. Well, the stop loss is showing in the appropriate spot there. And then the target moves down. So I think it's all part of that same glitch. So we'll see after Webull does the fix tonight how things work tomorrow. So here I am putting in the proper entry, and that gives me the target of 38.61. So quite a bit higher than the previous high and higher than my ideal entry profit target. But there's nothing I can do about it. I just have to hold it. And then I realized I didn't check the daily chart, which is a no-no for me, but I had forgotten, and when I went back it was looking good, maybe a bit extended, but definitely trading above the 200 MA, so I didn't have to worry about that. And then here we go, it's just taking off now. Fast forwarding a little bit. That green line was my previous profit target. There, it hits the previous profit target. That's good to know, just in case if this trade didn't work out, then I could say, well, if I would have gotten that ideal entry, it would have worked out. So it was still, you know, a good trade. It just didn't go in my favor because of the slippage or whatever, but you'll see what happens here. It's going to end in just a moment. Now this is where, you know, experience comes into play, because if you're a new trader, you might get a little bit scared when you see those topping tails, the price is starting to come down. Maybe you just pull your profit target down, which is not a good habit to get into. The best thing is to go into every single trade with a plan and just stick to it. So that's what I did here. That was my plan, was to let it hit the profit target at 38.61 or my stop loss at 36.24. No other outcome would be good. So even if it came all the way back down, hit my stop loss, it still would have been a good trade. It just obviously wouldn't have been an ideal trade because it wouldn't have made me money. But there you could see what happened. It hit my profit target just fine. Yes, it continued higher. I don't care about that. I just want to get my 2-hour trade and take my money and run. So that's it. All right, so let's take a look at the spreadsheet. So you could say we actually still, even though the point of all these trades is not to make money right now, it's to gather data and to find out if this is a profitable strategy. The way we're going to know that is by having a win rate of 33% or better. Today the win rate was 50%, so obviously it would have been a profitable day. The average of all my win rates is right here, 52.5. The average of the trades is quite a bit lower. I've won 10 trades out of 26, so it's 38.46. That's still profitable because 33% is break even. If I remove the trades that were taken in error, there's my results. And the error trades are something I did wrong. So this is a reflection of the plan plus my human error. This is a reflection of the plan only, and this is just the average of those two numbers. And then this is a modification I've made to the plan since I started this testing, is I'm only going to be taking 3 trades from now on. So if I would have done that from the beginning, this would be the win rate even with those error trades. And you could see, even though the point is not to make money with this, I'm up $2.22. So this is not costing me anything at all to run these test trades. And we've already run 26 of them. So, and you could see even on this first trade where it's mostly red, I'm still 18 cents in the green. here's my average risk of all the trades. So these are pretty low risk trades. That's because they're mid caps and they just don't have a ton of volatility like the small cap low floats, but they're a lot safer to trade. So on the second trade, here's my P&L and my return on my average return on each trade and the average risk. And then the third trade is right here. I'm not even doing that for the remaining trades because we're only going to be taking 3 from now on. So there's those same stats on the third trade. And it looks like, was that the third trade? Here's the third trade. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, hopefully this was helpful to you. If it was, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. The only thing I didn't show you, if I'm not sure if you care, but is the actual orders in Webull. So here is today, July 1st. CCIV, this was the first kind of bracket order thing that I placed out there. And remember, I had to cancel those 2 orders and then manually put the stop loss and take profit. So that's those 2 there. And the filled prices, let me see here. Yeah, average price. So these are the actual prices that you get filled at, not these over here. And then SWBI, that's that trade right there. So I put in the buy by itself, and then this was the manual stop loss take profit. So that's it. So let me know if you have any questions about this trade or the plan or anything else, and I'll get back to you in the comments section. As always, go into every single trade with a plan, stick to it no matter what. Always take your stop losses, honor your profit target, and in the long run, you should be green. Take care.